Minot city leaders are continuing talks on how to move forward with renovations or a rebuild of the city's current police department facility. At a special meeting last week, Alderman Mike Blessum called on city staff to look into renovation options at 3 funding levels, $12 million, $25 million, and a roughly $40 million renovation, but removing special operations and court proceedings. This week, Alderman Lisa Olson asked for a 4th option to be considered, building on the parking ramp downtown since the city owns it.
I know that it would not be able to accommodate all of the needs that the police department needs, but it could possibly accommodate the administrative needs, the customer service needs, and then we would still own the current police department old City Hall building.
Nothing is set in stone yet. Blessum says he hopes they have some more concrete ideas of what the city can afford in the coming months.